Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Dreliszak. This is a story about a boy, a puck, and the day that became the happiest day of his life. With me is Camden Basinger and his family, his dad, Carrie, his sister, Tegan, and his mom, Rachel. Camden, you were at a Penguin game, and Carrie and Tegan, it was a preseason game, just a regular preseason game, and something happened. Can you describe, Dad, what happened?
Well, we were sitting in the stands, and between the first and second period, there was an intermission break. And we were just waiting. We happened to be sitting right on top of the runway where the Penguins come in and out of their locker room. And while the players were coming off the ice between the periods, Sidney Crosby stopped, looked at Camden, and tossed the puck up to us for Camden to keep.
That was the coolest thing ever. And that is the puck. That is the famous puck that was tossed up there. And it didn't look like that was gonna happen when you see what it was going under the tunnel, and it was really like a last minute toss up. How did you had such a presence of mind to be able to catch the puck and then toss it to Camden and then take his picture like all at the same time? How did this happen like that so fast? How did you have the presence of mind to do that?
It just seemed like the players were conditioned to keeping their head down when they were coming off the ice. I think that's what they do just to avoid eye contact, probably when they're in opposing teams' stadiums and things like that. But for whatever reason, it just abruptly, Sidney Crosby made eye contact really quick. And I said something to Camden like, hey, look, Sidney Crosby's looking up. I think he wants to give you a puck, so we can see it in his hand. And Sidney Crosby made eye contact with Camden and kind of motioned like, I'm going to throw it to you. Then he looked over at me, made eye contact with me, and almost made a motion like a gesture. I'm going to throw it to you and give it to him.
Aww.
So it was just that quick, and he tossed it up. I was fortunate enough to catch it. A lot of people that saw the video said, well, good
that was a very good catch.
Thank you.
Very good catch.
I didn't think about it at the time, but I think what I was thinking in my mind was I want Sidney Crosby to catch the reaction from Camden too, so I quickly turned it over to Camden, not expecting the reaction that we actually got from him.
We're going to talk about that, but that was a great catch, the most important catch of your life. Did you play ball?
A little bit, yeah, when I was younger.
Well, that came in handy. Okay, and then Camden, you got the puck. He threw it at you. It all happened so fast. And then, what were you thinking? What happened?
A million thoughts went through my head, and I was like, whoa, I just got my first puck, and it was from Sidney Crosby, one of the most famous players in all the NHL, and I was
overwhelmed.
Yeah. It was. It was such a moment. It was such a moment. And Dad, then after that, you had the presence of mind to take out your phone and take his picture. That was really good. And then it was a really great picture. And then even when he was taking your picture, you weren't going to stop reacting anytime soon, so you could have just taken his picture all day because you were in shock. You were seriously in shock. My goodness, it was the best. You were so full of joy. You're so full of joy. I just absolutely love that. I have to back up. I have to ask. So you were sitting in these seats, and there weren't a lot of people around you. It's a preseason game. Were these, did you have season tickets?
We got these seats from friends of ours who last minute couldn't make it to the game. They have, I think, a season package.
Okay. How did that happen? How did that go down?
So we have some friends at church, Jody and Steve Mashali,
Yes.
and they have preseason tickets, and every Sunday when we go to church, they're talking about hockey, my husband and Cam and them.
Yeah.
And huge Pens fans, my family's huge Pens fans, and she had said at one point, if we ever can't use our tickets, we'll let you know. And she called us, actually she texted me the night before and said that we can't use our tickets, So since we can't use them, if you guys want them, go ahead. And so it was one of those moments where the night before, we're like, everybody's checking their calendar, everybody's checking their schedule, and the stars aligned that nobody had anywhere they needed to be. And with our family, that is highly unusual because we are running somewhere all the time with work, school, activities, all the things. But so we said we'd take them, and the rest is history. It was one act of kindness that allowed this moment to happen. So
That is so awesome. Were there, so 3 tickets. Mom didn't go. You didn't go?
I did not go. I had a meeting that evening,
Yes.
and I wasn't feeling the greatest. So
Yes.
I told, and probably the reason why he took the picture, because I always tell them when you go send me all the pictures. If anything happens, send me a picture. I need to see it.
Yes.
So
he sent you a picture like right after it happened?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So he sent me a picture, the picture that is now famous on the NHL thing, and also just a short little video of Camden's reaction. And I think it probably was taken after the Pens video ended. It was just Cam jumping up and down. I could tell he was it was like a cry-y voice. He was just like yelling, and it was only about 3 or 4 seconds long. It was super short. So that's all I knew of the moment.
Yes.
And I posted it on Facebook and said, the reaction you have after you get a puck from Sidney Crosby. And within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, somebody tagged me in the Pittsburgh Penguins video post. And they're like, the Pittsburgh Penguins just posted this on their Instagram page. And then it went from there.
It got some legs. It went viral.
Yes.
And I understand last count 3 million views.
Definitely.
And counting.
Yes.
Wow. What were the comments? A lot of views. What are people commenting? It's kind of everywhere.
Tegan, your social media. What were some of the comments you saw?
Well, like, people were commenting about Dad and saying that just earned him Dad of the Year. That catch just earned you Dad of the Year. I don't know, just like crazy things about just how it brought other people joy, watching how joyful he was in his reaction, and how like one little kind gesture from Sid just made his night.
Yes.
And fans for life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You made a lot of people happy just by your authentic reaction to that. And there was another thing happening there. There was a big sister moment happening. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So Dad tosses the puck, Camden catches it, he's in shock, and then there's his sister, just very composed, just being the big sister. And tell me about that, because is she like you have 2 big sisters, right?
Yeah.
You've got 2 big sisters. Well, they're both special, because Taney's the other sister. They're both special. But this was a moment. Tell me about what was going through your mind. And you're just there for him, just happy for him. Just like, look what's happening to my brother. This is so cool. And you were so composed. I loved it. You are the best big sister. So tell me about that.
Well, Camden's all about he just loves hockey games, and how he talked before the game, oh, I want to get a stick and I want to make it on the Jumbotron, and all of his goals for the game. And so whenever he got the puck, I just knew how happy, like it made his day. And he hadn't made it on the Jumbotron yet, so this was like a major thing for him. And I knew that he was just so excited about it, and it was something that he's always going to remember.
Exactly. You were that was so good. That was so special. And so I understand you like to collect things. And so when you go to the games, I understand that, you hope that, there's like that blimp that kind of like floats around, and then you're hoping. So what does this mean to you? Like, you're going to the game, you like to get stuff, right? You like stuff. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about that.
So, last game we went to, my cousin actually got a signed puck too.
Okay.
And I was very jealous because I wanted a puck or a stick. And at the beginning, I told my dad that a stick would be cooler than a puck, and then I immediately regretted saying that, because that's way cooler than a stick.
Absolutely. That was so special.
You compared it to your Pokemon cards the night you got the puck. What did you say about you collect Pokemon cards, and you thought that was better than a grade 10 PSA?
Yeah, Charmander. I have a PSA 10 Charmander, and I said that was better.
Be careful what you wish for, because your goal was to be on the Jumbotron. You beat the Jumbotron, right? This is bigger than the Jumbotron.
Right, Camden
so
is a
awesome.
collector of things, coins, stamps, rocks. I mean, I have lots of gravel in my house, and he just loves. It's the excitement of just getting something that is unique. He really loves that.
Yes.
And every time he's been going to games. We go to 2 or 3 a year for the past, I don't know, since he was very little, and he's always wanted to. I can't tell you how many times when that blimp comes around that he's running through the aisle trying to get under that blimp to get something. But he just loves to collect things. It's just something fun that he does. So being at the Penguin game and getting something, it's not that he necessarily wants to have all this stuff. It's just that he enjoys the uniqueness, or just he really appreciates. If he gets change, he looks at every piece of change to see if he has that unique thing, and he just loves collecting things, and this was just something that was part of that.
That is so that appreciation. So tell me. So now you have it in. You have it in a case. That's very good. Immediately. Okay. Where will it? It's here with us now. Where in the house? Like what will you like? How will you keep it? You keep it like. Do you sleep with it?
Yes.
What do you do?
I sleep with it every night, and we have a table in our house that's like has trophies and old pictures. I'm probably gonna put it up with those.
There you go. That's awesome. But in a very special place. It'll have a very special place in your home.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about you, Camden. We want to learn a little bit about the boy behind this special moment. Okay, so it's you like to act, right?
Mm-hmm.
You like to act. Tell me about that. Have you done some things?
I was in the Mary Poppins play once, and I was the policeman, and I didn't really have that big of a role, but everyone, like, the crowd went wild when I went behind the stage after.
Do you like
the
to make
moment.
people laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like to make them happy.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I like people laughing with me, not at me.
That's fair. That's fair enough. That's awesome. And you collect things, and so that's good. Tell me about, like, in this family, I happen to know there's some artisticness in this family as well, some big artisticness. One older sister who's not with us today is a amazing animator. Mom's a writer. So we have this artistic gene going. So do you have an artistic side to you?
Yeah, I like to say so. I make little figures out of clay, and sometimes I sell them. Like I've made like $15 off selling them.
Nice. You got a business going. So what are the figures? What do they look like?
The guys I've been selling look like little mushroom guys, and they can like tell me what they want it to look like, and some of them look glow in the dark.
Cool. So a mushroom guy. A mushroom guy. So that's like a kind of a character you're making up?
Yeah.
That's very cool. That is very cool. And your sister could put that to animation.
Probably.
Maybe. And you could sculpt it? You sculpt?
Yeah.
Do you sculpt? That is very cool. Do you have a name for them?
I call them derps.
Derps.
Because they're very derpy.
I think you should get them out there and sell those derps. I think you should do that. You should definitely do that. You made these. They're amazing. And what do you call them?
There's Gryffindor, Pokemon. This is called a derp. This little guy.
What? This guy's a derp. Okay.
Yep.
Can you pick derp up? And what is a derp?
It's just a little mushroom creature, and some glow in the dark, some don't.
And so you make different derps of different colors. What do they all have different like expressions?
They usually all have the same expression, but sometimes the cap changes. Like one time I made the cap a Saturn for a space derp, and sometimes I make it like ice.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. And then so derp, does derp have a special thing, a special power, a special thing, or a special what? Tell me about a derp. I've never met one.
This is a normal derp. They like to belly flop into applesauces, and they usually smell like apples because sometimes I dip them in applesauce. And different derps have different powers. Since this is just a normal derp, it doesn't really have any powers, but like Saturn derp can shoot out comets, and poison derp can shoot out poison spores.
Wow. That's important. Well, there should be derps in the world that can do that. That is so. And how did you come up with the name derp? What's it? DERP?
Yeah, DURP.
Oh, okay. All right. And how did you come up with that?
I mean, people were just telling me that they're very derpy looking, which I agree. So, shorten the name Derp.
That is amazing. And it's made out of clay?
Yep.
Clay and then
Polymer.
polymer. That is so cool. That is okay. Okay, so let's put Derp down, and I have to ask about these other characters. If that's a Derp, what are these called?
Gryffindex.
Okay.
And then this is a Night Fury from How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. Okay.
And there's some Pokemon.
Okay. And the detail and the face, the expressions, and I can't get over them. I can't get over them. Each one is special in its own way. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite? Hard to say. Maybe.
You were pretty proud of this Bowser from Super Mario.
Can you hold Bowser up? My goodness. The detail on that.
Turn him around.
That is crazy. So, oh my gosh. So is this in your, so that's patterned after another character.
Yep.
But the other ones aren't patterned out. They're patterned, no pattern, came out of your head. How does this happen? How do you think of these things? Like, look at this little guy with the little frog.
This guy?
Yeah, yeah.
That guy, I kind of like thought of my favorite Pokemon, Bulbasaur, and then I took him and simplified him.
Oh my gosh. So are you just, when you have the clay in your hand, is that when you're coming up with the idea? Are you like thinking of this, like you're in class, 5th grade, right?
Mhm.
Sitting there thinking of what you're tell me how, when does this come to you?
Sometimes I'll, like when we have free time, I'll just like take out a piece of paper and just start drawing random lines
Okay.
and circles and stuff. Then sometimes that'll give me a better idea.
Okay.
And sometimes like one time I made one of my favorite clay figures that I think he got smushed somewhere. I just saw a really cool looking tree that looked like a bird in a nest kind of thing. And
Wow.
then-
Wow. So that is really cool. So you have a very special way of looking at things. You saw a tree that looked like a bird. Other people see a tree. You saw a tree that looked like a bird, and that becomes your character. So that is, and this, does this have some sparkle in it?
Yes.
Well, tell me about that pink, what is it called? It's the Griffin deck, right?
Yup. I never really thought of a name, honestly. I just call it a spacegrade because it's a space tardigrade.
That is so great.
Because tardigrades are the only animal that can survive in space.
Wow. So I know that you're a really good student. I know that you're an excellent student. So you would know that. You would know that.
Huh?
That what you just said.
Yeah.
That you would. So that is amazing. And what do you want to do with these now? You're going to keep making them?
Mhm.
And maybe you sell them?
Sometimes.
That's nice.
I usually spend like hours on end just making different characters.
They're incredible. They're absolutely
he could
incredible.
be watching a show and not even hardly looking at the clay figure. I just see him doing and watching, and
Wow.
it just comes. And when he's done with it, and it can only take maybe 5 minutes, maybe like, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the.
That is so impressive because it's up here. It's in your head. You don't even have to think about it. It's already there. You could turn this into a whole storybook or something. Would you want to put it?
I've thought about that before.
That would be really cool. I think because if it sounds like when you're talking about them that you already know, like each one has a thing, what they do, and what their purpose is, and so you have them all working together, right?
Mhm.
I think you have a story. I do.
Like this guy, he probably has the most backstory.
Tia, tell us.
It's like if it's like boiling hot nuclear waste, and then someone was throwing rocks like I do in the driveway, and then one landed in that, and then the nuclear waste turned into lava and surrounded it, and when it gets mad, these form on its fist, and they're like comets.
Of course. Of course. That's so cool. Tell me about this little guy.
This guy?
Yeah.
This is a radioactive bee, kind of like the Spider-Man, but so it was a genetically modified wasp that came from a laboratory, and they had a bunch of them in there. And in Gryffindors, they have like different like universes and stuff, and like different materials that you don't hear of ever because they're not a thing.
Because you made them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not a thing. They're not a thing yet,
Not yet.
but they will be.
I'm thinking about being a video game designer and adding these into like a video game. I already know how to code pretty well.
That's awesome. That is incredible. I'm glad I know you now. So when someday when you're famous, remember me.
Oh, I will. I remember everyone I know.
That's awesome. That is so special. Everyone has a story, and a very intricate and deep, like a story that isn't in anybody else's head.
Pretty much.
It's only in yours, and I think it's incredible. It is so cool to be able to talk to you, Camden. You are such a special young man. You are. You've made so many people happy.
Thank you.
Like, so many people happy. And if anybody ever just needs to be happy, just go online and look up. What would they look for if they were looking for the video?
So if they were on social media, they would just go to the Pittsburgh Penguins site.
Okay.
On Twitter,
Instagram,
Facebook, or they could go to the NHL's page on any of those.
Go anywhere.
And
It's out there.
actually, to show his classmates the video the other day, all I did was go to YouTube and typed in "kid gets puck from Sidney Crosby," and it was the first thing that popped up.
That is so
then
nice.
I played it on there. But
that is so nice.
my husband said that he thought the reason why Camden had such a reaction was, well, you explain it because I
What do you
can't
think?
say the word.
Because one thing he said right after, when he finally came to after his big emotional moment, right, kind of the first thing he said was, "Dad, I was really overwhelmed." But I said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "You know that I'm overwhelmed, but I'm speechless." Because Camden's known to talk quite a bit.
That's
But
right.
I
It was
think
an overwhelming moment.
it was definitely overwhelming. But just I think how quick that it happened, and
Yes.
from it to come from Sidney Crosby, and we talk a lot about Sidney Crosby because
Yes.
he's great on the ice, but he's a good person off the ice too.
Absolutely.
So Camden knows a lot of the background and the stories, and
Yes.
really appreciated how that all came together and who it came from. So
Absolutely. Sydney is an amazing role model. I mean, if you're going to catch a puck.
He's basically my hero.
Oh, that's so great. That is so
He
cool.
said also that, Camden said afterwards, out of all the people in this place, out of all the people, why would he choose to give that puck to me? I think that's why he was so overwhelmed. He just kept thinking on that, like,
he's a deep thinker, and
Yes.
you could tell he was dwelling on that. He was kind of astounded that it was
That's right.
kind of handpicked to
That's
get
right.
that puck.
Exactly. Handpicked. It was your day to be blessed, wasn't it? That is so awesome. Do you have any special message or anything you'd want to say to Sydney?
I just thank you so much, and I'd love to meet him someday.
I hope you get to. I hope you get to. All right. Well, thank you so much, Basingers. Thank you, Mom, Dad, big sister, and Camden. It was such an honor to meet you. You are just such a joy, and everybody that meets you is happier and better because they did. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Camden's joy comes from within. He's grateful for everything, including the gift of a puck from Sidney Crosby. What if we could capture just a little bit of Camden's joy in our everyday life? We can when we appreciate the blessings around us, all of them great and small.
Armstrong has been a part of southwestern PA since 1966. Zoom Internet was first launched by Armstrong in the Connellsville system. Our Breaking Bread program began fighting hunger in our communities. Enhanced Wi-Fi delivered coverage, security, and control of your network. Zoom Extreme brought 1 gig internet to the community. And in 2022, Armstrong was named Independent Operator of the Year for the second time. When you support Armstrong, you're supporting your local community.
We're going to play a game called Tri-Bonds, birds or Australian slang words, real or fake flavors of Doritos. Hey everybody, this is Jeff from the Stuff I Never Knew Trivia Game Show, and we are looking for contestants for future episodes. If you'd like to play trivia here on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, head over to stuffineverknew.com, click Be a Player, fill out the short form, and we'll get you on a future episode. Hope to see you in the hot seat.
My name is Jamie Schultz. I'm Director of Engineering for the Ziegenfelder Company. We're located in Wheeling, West Virginia. We are the largest manufacturer of twin pops in the world. We had an ice storm that impacted our network connectivity. Armstrong Business Solutions was able to deploy a wireless internet backup in order for us to communicate with our other facilities. So we make millions of twin pops across the country. It would be a nightmare trying to keep track of everything. Armstrong Business Solutions helps keep our business up and running.
Level up your internet. Zoom Extreme from Armstrong gives you unlimited data at our fastest speeds available. That means unlimited gaming, unlimited streaming, and unlimited downloading with no fear of overage charges, delivered on our super reliable fiber optic network. But that's not all. Zoom's enhanced Wi-Fi provides complete coverage throughout your home to the devices that need it most, and it gets better each day. Take advantage of the best value in broadband. Zoom Extreme from Armstrong. The future is faster. The future is now.